You good, mate? Good. Yeah, I'm not bad. Thank you for asking. If there's any background noise, it's because the house bear is below me. Big Dexter is making a off-camera appearance. He's adding to the audio. My hay fever's been battering me today, so if I do look a bit rough or I sound a bit nasally, that's the reason why. Welcome to the vlog. The vlog. Today is a pretty hectic day for myself, so I've decided, you know what? It's a perfect day to film for the weekly upload. Game plan is I want to make a white girl coffee. I'm then going to head to the office, work through check-ins, finalise the plans, and send across those finalised plans alongside onboarding videos to the new starters. And then I'm going to head to the dentist. I'm mate. Right, white girl coffee tutorial. Let's talk about it. I know what you're thinking. Luke, your test must be low. And I agree, because not long ago, I was a double espresso black kind of guy. Now we're rocking with, what's the pod? Pistachio and vanilla. That's what the coffee actually is. But this is the good bit, mate. You get your ice cubes, girlies, and this is where the magic happens. I've done this for the first time, I think last week, mate. And it absolutely banged. Oof. Oh, God, I am getting weaker as well. I'm just withering away. Ice cubes in glass. We then let the machine do its thing, mate. But we don't stop there. More steps to be had. Next step, bit of milk, mate. Just a splash, nothing too major. It looks quite bougie, that. I'm easily impressed. I see on Instagram coffee shops just pour, well, milk over black coffee with ice. I'm like, oh my God, that looks so good. Doing it from home, mate. Pretty much a barista now. And then to level it up again, and this is where it really gets exciting. This is when we start partying for it a bit. Some caramel syrup, mate. Get this in the mix, and then we are good to go. So a few people have been asking me, have you noticed anything different psychologically since coming off? Yeah. I drink white girl coffee, mate. Not even exaggerating, I would never normally go for this. That is sarcasm though, it's not because I've stopped PEDs, it's just because I'm bougie now, mate. Give a little stir and we're good to go. Now, I actually haven't looked at the rig properly since coming off. I'm gonna put some footage in now of today's session because I'm gonna take some shots post-workout to make sure the muscle hasn't absolutely disappeared. This is what I'm looking like. Hopefully, I think it's decent. I am down 10 pounds in 5 weeks. Haven't changed a single thing when it comes down to training or nutrition or routine. That scale weight has just steadily come down as expected. But overall, feeling really good. I'm going to go into this in detail in the training part of the video because the response to it mainly has been really positive, and I've had some really cool conversations off the back of it, but also I've had some weird ones. Some people's thought process is just very, very odd. There feels like there's a bit of a cult behind it that I've never realised. But we'll talk about that in detail in a bit. Anyway, I'm off from White Girl Coffee. I'm gonna work, mate. Yeah, and we're back. Dentist done. I'm a very brave boy. I only cried at once. Hygienist appointment. I love the hygienist. Teeth feel unbelievably clean. Now this is meal one, and it's 12 o'clock. A lot later than planned. However, work block one, straight to the dentist after they'd done all sorts in my mouth hole. They said I couldn't eat for an hour. So, done a food shop. Now we're back. Now we're eating. Pre-workout meal, a bit different than normal, because I thought, why not? Presentation is horrendous. Hopefully it didn't focus. Rice, chicken, peanut butter, banana, honey, bosh. And also the cloudy concoction, mate, because I didn't have it this morning. That is creatine and hydroflow. Gonna eat that, gonna drink that, and then I'm gonna get into the gymnasium, and then we'll get into the training part of the video, where I actually talk about the topic of said video. Yeah, how are we, party people? Training part of the video, do bear with me. This is take number 2. You might be thinking, Luke, mate, take number 2. I thought you were a natural. I normally am a natural. I'm normally good with my words when speaking to the camera, but I've been a bit of a mess this morning. I'm blaming the tiredness. Of course, last week I spoke about completely coming off PEDs. I've been off now for, well, today's just over 5 weeks. How am I feeling? Let's talk about it. First thing, in the morning, unbelievably tired. I'm finding it very hard to get out of bed, which I heard is quite common. I feel like an 80-year-old man. So I'm relying on caffeine. Alongside that, muscle soreness shot up within the gym, and I have pulled back volume because of that. Crippled by it sometimes. But apart from that, I'm all good. Of course, I'm 10 pounds down while keeping calorie intake the same, output the same. So that drop off is from stopping using PEDs, which is expected. When it comes down to the look, you'll see some more post-workout shots. That pop's gone, which is expected. But overall, I'm happy. Like, performance is decent. I'm happy with the look, and I'm feeling pretty good, ignoring the morning and the muscle soreness. My head's far better. As mentioned, when using PEDs in the past, I experienced like heightened anxiety, and I am quite an anxious person. So at times it would be very, very intense, which isn't a nice experience. So overall, just over 5 weeks off, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm very aware that a lot of you people are thinking in 3-4 months time, I'm gonna be a skinny little boy, have no muscle, and I'm gonna pee sitting down and probably cry a lot during the day. I don't think that's gonna happen. I posted a reel on Instagram, 5-week physique update, one's coming off. I had people DMing me going, oh yeah, but it's only been 5 weeks, mate. Yes, I know, like that's the first thing I say in the video. I'm well aware things are gonna continue to decline. I'm well aware I'm probably gonna feel quite rough at times as a byproduct of it, but it's all part of the process. I'm 24 years old, I've come completely off in hope that things keep backing naturally, which I'm sure they will. But I'm just gonna have to ride that roller coaster. And I've been on loads of roller coasters. I go on the post-Ibiza roller coaster at least 2 times a year. I can handle feeling a bit low, mate. But anyway, when it comes down to the response to that video, a lot of it was positive. I had some very cool conversations. I even had a few parents reach out on Instagram, which was cool, saying they've got kids similar age to me who are into the gym. They're thinking of going down the assisted route, and they're just happy I could share my thoughts on it because they haven't really seen someone young who's gone on, come off for the reasons that I have. So it's cool to share that new perspective, I guess. I've also had conversations on Instagram of people who found themselves in the position that I mentioned in the last video, the position of they've gone on, it hasn't lived up to expectation. They found themselves in a pretty bad spot. They're not tolerating the drugs the way they thought they would. They're seeing blood work on the decline. They're experiencing potentially bad headspace, and they do want to come off, but they feel a bit trapped. They feel like that isn't an option when it is. So I had some cool conversations there. I've had some scary conversations as well. Of course, don't get it twisted, I'm happy with the progress I made. I've made a lot of progress, but the reason I've come off is due to that risk to reward ratio. If I want to continue to make progress, I would have to take far more risks than I'm happy with. But I spoke to some lads, and I am just going to be brutally honest, they don't look like they train. Like, you would not think they're assisted, but they're using far more than I ever have, and they're almost, I don't know how to word it, it's almost like blind hope. Like, I'm gonna continue to use this amount, and one day I am gonna wake up with 50 pounds more muscle tissue and lower body fat and look awesome, and that's just not the case. When it comes down to PEDs, like I said, not everyone responds to them well. You could be one of those guys that just doesn't respond well. Doesn't respond well, can't talk. You don't respond well, and you should probably think about coming off. That's your decision, mate. And again, I've got nothing bad to say about PEDs. If I responded to them very well, I would continue. I just found myself in a situation where I had to take a long, hard look at what's going on, make a decision, and I've made that decision. On this YouTube channel, I'm gonna document it. All, mate. Week to week. I'm not gonna continue to document it over on Instagram. I'm gonna keep that as coaching because I don't want my page to turn into, I used to use PEDs, now I don't. Because that's a bit jarring on Instagram, just reels about that all the time. Of course, when it comes down to this YouTube channel, I do just document my own process, so it makes sense. I also had conversations with a few people who don't seem, I don't know, it's weird. I think it's that culture thing I referred to in the last video. Weird hand position, that, long in thought. But it's almost like there must be another reason for coming off, and it's not. Like, people think I'm going to stop bodybuilding or whatever it may be, and that's just not the case. Like, I started to train to get in shape, and the goal's always been to be in the best shape I can be for as long as possible. That still is the goal. Like, nothing's changed at all. I've just decided to come off PEDs. I think maybe if I deep dive into it, think about it on a deeper level, maybe people are really questioning it because they find themselves in a similar position, but they're not coming off. So they're like really questioning me, almost like reflecting on their own actions. I don't know, I'm not a therapist, but yeah, response to the previous video was good. I've had some interesting conversations. I've had some scary conversations, but I've got nothing else to say really. I've actually forgot what I'm talking about. Maybe this is one of the effects I'm experiencing, cognitive function in the bin. But I must admit, I'm looking forward to seeing how things progress. I'm very confident things won't change. Like, I'm very confident this look will stay now. I could be wrong, I could be right, only time will tell. But remember to like, subscribe, comment if you're feeling dangerous, and I'll see you in the next one.